Welcome to Off the Mat, your new wrestling obsession. We got a great show for you tonight. We've got another great week of pro wrestling, or was it? As always, we're going to talk about our reviews from SmackDown, Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night NXT, and potentially AEW. But I don't even know if AEW is worthy of talking about right now. What's going on, Dom? How are you tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Monday night pisses me off because it came on at 4 o'clock and I was working. I got home, went to the gym. I got home and I caught the tail end of it and I had to rewatch the thing. But that sucks and then 8 o'clock comes, you sit there and you're like bored because you're so used to watching wrestling. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it was a lackluster show. I didn't. It had some good moments. There was a couple of good things, but other than that, man, it just really didn't feel. John, it's starting to annoy me. John Cena and Cody.
I think Monday Night Raw had a lot of underlying tones.
Yes,
and a lot of threads pulled and a lot of hints dropped that I think a lot of people are overlooking, and I think we're going to get into that tonight a little bit here on Off the Mat. I can't wait to talk about all that and so much more. But what do you say we kick off with a little bit of news tonight?
Let's do it.
Because, the greatest thing in wrestling right now is El Grande Americano. Gracias.
Yes. Gracias.
Can't wait to talk about El Grande Americano in our Raw recap section. But let's go ahead and jump right into the news this week, shall we?
Let's do it.
Breaking news! We got a clash! Wrestling ring about to blast! In the arena, we let this ride! DNA, Nick knows the vibe! Slam this story, cutting away!
Stick said he'll grace us with our presence soon.
Okay.
I don't know if that's really true or not, but
we'll see.
Kicking us off, it's a light news week. For being WrestleMania season, and you think the time of the year where like WWE and pro wrestling is going to be like hot. It's kind of a little stale right now, but we got a couple of new segments I think here. They're going to be interesting and spark a decent conversation, if not an amazing conversation. I don't want to sell my expectations too high. Keep them short and low, and you're never disappointed. But leading us off here on Off the Mat news, we have WWE plans for Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania 41. Now, we all saw the match between Bron Breakker and Penta on Raw and how it ended with an interference from the Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor.
Yep.
Well, Fightful Select has shared an update on WWE's plan for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 41. According to the report, Bron Breakker and Penta will collide at WrestleMania 41 in a fatal four-way match that also includes Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. While this is WWE's current direction for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 41, plans are always subject to change.
Remember, I told you Dominic Mysterio is going to be involved with the Intercontinental Championship and screw Finn Balor one way or the other. This is probably going to be where Dominic wins. I see him winning the belt.
No, I think the belt's going to go to Penta, personally, for me. And I think this is a way for Penta, for them to take the belt off Braun and not make Breakker look weak. Because you can have Dominic eat the pin. So you can position Penta as the champion, which is where I feel like they want to go.
Okay.
Because he's the hottest thing in WWE right now. Next to, of course, the greatest luchador hailing from the Gulf of America, El Grande Americano. Thank you. Gracias. So it positions them to put the belt on Penta, make Breakker and Finn look strong, and kind of keep Dom as being a jobber. So it's a good way to have Dom eat that pin, but not make Breakker or Finn Balor look weak as they transition to their next roles.
So let me ask you a question. All right, they give it a Penta, but do you think Dominic actually screws Finn, so it causes the rift between him and Finn finally.
I think it potentially could, yes.
Yeah.
I think it potentially, but listen, I think a lot of us Finn Balor stands, like myself, want to see Finn back in that world title or WWE title picture, but we also want to see the return to prominence of the demon Finn Balor.
I know we want to see that, but also, you know what? I got to give mad props to Dominic. You know, even though he, loses a lot, but he's been in a lot of matches. You know, he's a constant. You know, he's much better than he was in the beginning. You know, as a wrestler, you know, he takes a lot of freaking bumps and bruises. He gets a dirty end of a lot. Does Dirty Dom. But I think eventually they're going to put a belt on him. They have to, because he's been a constant. And I know Penta's hot right now, and you want to get Penta that, but hear me out. Freaking Dominic screws Finn and wins the belt. That causes the rift between Finn Balor and Dominic. You could still have Bron Breakker part of it and still lose, but not making him look weak. It's a four-way. The interference, things happen. Penta, you can have Penta become part of that whole circle too, as he chases Dominic. I actually think Dominic is going to turn good. I think he's going to go eventually on his way, break away from that whole. That's going to break up. That's going to be a done deal, Judgment Day. I think this is the last hurrah for Judgment Day. But still, I still think that there's more twists and turns. I still think that friggin' Karrion Kross is going to become part of it one way or the other.
I mean, I could see Karrion Kross becoming part of the Judgment Day or a new faction, but I don't feel like there's a storyline there with Dominic Mysterio winning the Intercontinental Championship right now. You want to push the hot hand in Penta, and there's so many like dream feuds that you could see Penta in with that title, centered around that title and making prominence with how many times he defends and how strongly he defends that title. I don't think Dominic Mysterio has that character right now, or is in that position to where anything with him revolving around this title is interesting. I mean, his North American title stuff was really only interesting because Rhea Ripley made it interesting.
Yeah.
I really think if Dom's going to go good, it needs to be a storyline where, you know, Finn beats him, winner loses, leaves Judgment Day. He has to leave Judgment Day. He's on his own now, and he has to find his new place, and he somehow ends up back with his dad in the LWO, and they change things, and then he finally, as Ray's about to retire, he finally gets donned his mask. Because if you remember, when Dominic Mysterio first debuted, his original plan was to debut with a mask.
Yes.
So it could be that, you know, now he's kind of playing that Eddie Guerrero-esque character when he finally turns face and goes back and somehow joins the LWO with his dad. Then he gets bestowed that mask, and we will move forward with a masked Dominic Mysterio, and maybe even a name or gimmick change at that point. Maybe he becomes, you know, something Mysterio or Dominic, you know, whatever it is, or just goes by Dominic Mysterio. But I think that's, to me, the logical trajectory. But I think Dom has so much heat. Dom has so much go away heat on him that, you know, it would be crazy to turn him heel or turn him face right now. He's one of the biggest heels in the business.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. But, you know, all right, keep him heel. Still wins the belt. Finn becomes a face, and comes back brings back the demon and brings back a lot of stuff to bring back his gimmick to put him back on top, to try to, because he only won 2 matches in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
that's what I was reading an article on that. So you need to. Finn Balor had a lot of promise. Oh, Sticks, thank you for joining us,
Sticks.
Thank you for having me.
Live from Omegle, it Sticks.
That's it. Back from the other dimension.
More pixelated than your Skinamax.
Back from the stick dimension.
Right.
Stick boy. So you can see Finn Balor. Maybe he turns face and brings back the gimmick of the demon to become dominant again, to move up the ranks because he also got the dirty end of the stick. You know, he was such a great. See, McMahon didn't like him and didn't push him, and he should have. You know, that's a big mistake. And now, you know, he got the faction. He became the head of the
mistake.
But we'll see. Like I said, I don't know. We'll you know, WrestleMania is going to be interesting. You know, I'm intrigued to see that. I think there's going to be a great 4-way match right there. You know, it should be exciting. You know, and Bron Breakker, I think after this, he gets into the championship picture. He goes for the top tier gold. He starts going for that, I think.
Yeah. What do you think sticks? We're talking about a potential 4-way match at WrestleMania. Bron Breakker versus Penta versus Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor.
That's starting to look the way that they might be going because of the 3-way they're kind of shooting on him. I agree with Don that he needs to go maybe after this go to the higher tier. Bron has been doing really well for himself. The way he's been going. Penta, I think will probably end up getting the belt in this time turnaround soon. Maybe if not WrestleMania, maybe SummerSlam. But as far as the 4-way, I can see that happening. I mean, I think that's the way they're pushing for.
Well, I was telling Dom, I think Penta wins it at Mania, and the 4-way is the best way to make it to where you put the belt on Penta, who's your hottest hand right now, and you have Dominic Mysterio eat the pin, so that way you continue to have Braun and Finn look strong and not tarnish whatever you're trying to build with them moving forward, so you keep their momentum and you still get the belt on Penta, and you just keep Dom doing what Dom's been doing and losing.
Yeah, and that'll push Finn against him again because he loses the pin. Not either of them bringing the belt back to Judgment Day, and that'll cause another spike in their relationship. So yeah, either way.
Yeah, I said I could see it leading to a loser leaves the Judgment Day match between Finn and.
I think the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, we'll see something like that. We'll see either Finn get jumped, or
there'll be a confrontation.
There was
when that happens on that Monday, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
but up into our next story we have tonight, and our last news story for the night, Saraya announces her AEW exit and thanks Tony Khan. During a premiere episode of her new Rule Breakers podcast, Saraya announced that she has parted ways with All Elite Wrestling. The former AEW Women's World Champion noted that she's leaving the company on good terms. I'm here to tell you that me and AEW's relationship has come to an end. I had an amazing time there. There's no bad blood between us. I had such a magical time. Do you think this has something to do with her previous neck injury, or do you think there's a potential return to WWE for one more run for Saraya as Paige? Do you think she comes back as Saraya, or do you think she just goes on her book tour and eventually comes back to AEW for one more run before she hangs it up?
I think she makes her way back to WWE. I think when she left, Vince was still in charge. I think Triple H, regardless of the fact what people say about Triple H, a lot of people are liking to work on the Triple H. Triple H has a different set of rules. He gives you time off when you need it, this and that. You see, the time off situation is what AEW gave to a lot of wrestlers. And a lot of things, you need this, you're close, you don't have to work these days. Now WWE is starting to do that because Triple H is in charge. So I think the WWE is the pinnacle of wrestling. It's the top tier, and everybody wants to come back. No matter what people say, all roads lead back to the WWE. And I think she might make another return trip because the women division in WWE is getting really good. Really good. There's a lot of potential things now. It's just not just once. There's not one championship for the women's championship. You have You have the championship, you have the Intercontinental, you have the USA, so there's a lot of opportunity for her to come back. And, you know, she could play an important role in the back, too. It doesn't have to be her wrestling. She can also, look, you got 2 general managers that are men. You got SmackDown and you have Raw. You know, she could become the SmackDown GM like they had before. Like they had the women before that. So she could play an important role to the young women, or go work in NXT to help those women over there in NXT to go even higher, strive higher. So I could see, you know, she'll probably take some time off and maybe towards SummerSlam or Survivor Series, we can probably see that she returns if she decides to return. And I think it's a good thing for the WWE. You know, she has a lot of experience, and her brain is her brain is a lot of wrestling knowledge, so she could bring some fresh ideas to the table for the women's division if you put her there. So
she was quoted as saying that she's pretty much done and accomplished everything in AEW that she set out to. I mean, other than the TNT championship, there's not really any other belt, or is it TBS championship? One of those two. There's not really any other belt for the women in there. So she could go back to WWE and win the Women's Intercontinental Championship, win the United States Championship. And there's still opportunities, I feel like, for her to do in WWE. And it would, I think, be poetic justice for her career to go back where it all started, to finish her run on WWE on her terms and not due to injury and then being released because of said injury and being
a lot of work. She don't have to work that hard. Like, she can work a couple of dates here and there, take time off because of the new rules. So I can see her coming back one more run. And look at TNA. They just let Gail Kim go. You know, they released her. You know, so
speculation on that and the Dom sheets is that it was due to the partnership with WWE and creative differences.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of different things, because like I said, WWE is working underneath the radar with TNA. So TNA is a lower tier under the WWE, and things are happening different. Maybe she goes to TNA. Maybe she does the TNA thing. You know, the knockout champ. Maybe she'll go over there and do something over there. So there's a lot of opportunity for growth in other companies. So we'll see.
Dick, what say you, my friend?
So as far as she goes, when was the last time she wrestled? It's been a while. It's been a couple of years, right?
It's been a while,
Yeah, it's been a good couple of years.
Been a couple of years.
I don't want to throw shade on her, but I mean, it's been a couple of years. I kind of think her days of being in the ring are kind of over. Because of the neck injury, and probably a couple other things that have gone on in her life recently. I can see her doing like a general manager or some kind of behind the scene mentoring of the women's wrestlers, like you said, Dom. I can see her doing that because, like you said, she does have a good head on her shoulders. She does know the business, and I think that would be a good. She would be a good teacher for someone coming in fresh and new who doesn't know.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been a couple of years since her last match.
No, she fought a couple of months ago.
She fought Jamie Hayter was her last opponent, but I felt like that was last year.
That was like towards the end of last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she last wrestled
like
in
November?
October of 2024.
Oh yeah. So September. And you know what? Like I said, she probably has some nagging injuries. You know, look, she recovered from a back injury that they said that she that she wasn't going to come back from. And
she received a devastating kick to the head from Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So give or take, she probably had to take some time off. The doctor they probably advised her to just take some time off. You know, your career's not done. You just recover. You know, like all these like little nagging injuries that people have throughout the year. You have to take time off, take a couple of months off at a time. That's why I'm saying if she does come back to the WWE, you could see her either SummerSlam in August, or you can see her in Survivor Series, and that'll give her a lot of months to recover and come back.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see. Like I said, look, the door is wide open in WWE. They're taking as many clients as they possibly can, and like I said, someone like Paige, you know, she definitely has, like I said, a lot of wrestling knowledge, and she's good for the business. And like I said, if she doesn't wrestle, the GM situation, I guarantee, because like I said, there's going to be some changes in the GM thing. And, you know, the draft is coming up again in April, which is kind of funny, which makes no sense. And they're going to be switching sides. You know, I can see maybe the two GMs switch sides, friggin', you know, and then maybe something, because what's his name from SmackDown wants to go, you know, he wants to go, I heard that he wants to go back wrestling again. He's able to wrestle again, but he's just taking his time. So,
Nick Aldis?
Nick Aldis. I think Nick Aldis wants to go back in the ring. So see what happens.
Probably
like I said, you know, like I said, a GM part for her, I actually think will be a good spot for her to be GM.
I think those are all great points of view from all of us here on the panel. Let us know what you think in the comment section below about the news. Do you think Saraya will come back to WWE? Who do you think wins the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania? And while you're leaving that comment, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you know whenever we drop fresh content here, as we move right on into our off the mat reviews of this past week's SmackDown, Raw, and NXT.
Ignite tonight, wrestling fire burns so bright. In this review, we'll show what's true, breaking barriers, breaking through.
All right, as always, we're going to start with Friday Night SmackDown, coming to you live from Italy on March 21st, 2025. Our SmackDown kicked off with Randy Orton standing in the ring for a promo, but before he could even say a word, Kevin Owens' music hits, and he comes out and says he made a mistake by hurting Randy, even if he's justified for what he did to Cody and Sami Zayn. Owens can't think of a better moment for WrestleMania than for the two of them to become tag team champions. Orton has other plans in mind, though, and he wants to kick Owens' head off of his shoulders at WrestleMania instead. What did you guys think of this opening promo?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought, you know, it's time for Randy to do what he's got to do, because Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, WrestleMania, definitely that's a good match. It'll be an entertaining match. I think that, you know, Randy has to win this. He has to win this match, and the promo. I'll tell you what, the promo is much better than freaking goddamn the Cena and freaking Cody promos. I can tell you that.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
The little promo they did have, you know, and of course, Kevin Owens is going to tell him, listen, no, I want you by my side, tag team partners, this and that. You know, Randy's like, hell no, man, it's on. So it should be entertaining. The RKO, you know, is gonna loom against the stunner. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I agree that was a good promo. Was definitely much better than that long-winded Cena crying one that we got. So yeah, I look forward to this. I look forward to this.
I want to see more of Randy's jokey side, though. Like, I love that he's coming out with tweets talking about Cena's heel turn, and then he's like, well, I'm going to go nut my wife now. See you later. And so, you know, I want to see Randy's jokey side come a little bit more, because I feel like we've had a lot of serious Randy, but I still felt like it was definitely a good promo, and I agree with both of you. Definitely better than what we're getting out of John Cena right now, and that's a shame. We saw Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso defeat Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura by pinfall, with Priest pinning Nakamura. McIntyre took out Priest after the bell. That was an okay match, solid match. I don't feel like it was anything spectacular. You had, you know, you still had McIntyre look strong by Nakamura taking the pin, and still kind of build towards Priest and McIntyre's WrestleMania feud, which I still feel like is built on, oh, you eliminated me from the Royal Rumble. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, kind of. Well, actually, more like him winning the belt at WrestleMania last year.
Cashing in on him.
Cashing in. So kind of remnants of that and getting tossed over the ring in Royal Rumble. So kind of you getting long-term storytelling from that perspective. But yeah, nobody really wants to see McIntyre versus Damian Priest. You know, it's a shame. Damian Priest is a good wrestler, but he's not the wrestler. Look, I believe that McIntyre's feud with freaking CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and all that stuff was much better. Brought out the best in McIntyre. This is not bringing the best out of McIntyre. McIntyre is just So you're not seeing a energized McIntyre and a top performer McIntyre with this matchup. You know, so one and done with this match. Get it out of the way and then move on. Yeah.
I mean, remember when it was Drew McIntyre was all up in arms and CM Punk came back and he was, hot and trying to going after CM Punk. That's the Drew McIntyre that they should have right now. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, right now he's kind of going
blowing in the wind. He's just blowing in the wind.
Just going through the matches like
the bloodline. The bloodline storyline was the best of McIntyre. You know, and
he can be better. McIntyre can definitely be better than what he's doing now. So he needs something to push him back into that category where he's kind of the top bill on the SmackDown brand. Yeah. Instead of being if I don't even want to use the word jobber, but he's kind of going, look, I'm doing in a doubles match with Shinsuke Nakamura. This week I'm going to fight X person, or you don't have a storyline going.
I mean, one step above wrestling El Generico, local hero, pull out of the crowd, independent guy.
Yeah.
Gracias.
Hey, you leave El Grande Americano alone, right?
Gracias.
Whoever he may be.
You leave large Americana alone. Backstage, LA Knight approaches Braun Strowman and told him that he wants to see him smack Jacob Fatu back to factory settings, and he'll have his back if Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga try to interfere. Strowman then revealed that Nick Aldis promised the winner of the match a shot at the United States title, so he not only wants to beat Fatu, but he also is hoping to punch his ticket to WrestleMania by doing so. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair had a split screen interview promo segment. As per usual, they talked trash about one another, with Flair saying nobody compares to her, and Stratton's pointing out that she's the champion and here to take the Queen's throne.
Yeah. That's some good points. It just, it felt like word salad going around. Tiffany, I was like, oh, you were praising me when I first came up, saying that I was better. Now you're doing this, blah, blah, blah. Look.
Circumstances are different, Dan.
I know. Tiffany Stratton has to win. She has to win. Because if they make her lose, which, they're talking about that, give it to Flair, that sucks. You got to make her strong. You got to make her win. She wins and continues the feud down the road. I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't make her lose and give it to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte
gotta keep stiffy time going, right?
Stiffy time, big time.
I think you'd have a
keep
riot.
It raging.
You definitely have a riot in the wrestling community, I think, if Charlotte beats Tiffany at Mania for that title.
Yeah, probably.
I think so as well.
But that is
not. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just want to say that is the greatest sign that they have behind it. It's stiffy time. Every time you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got that match between Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu, with Braun Strowman picking up the win by disqualification after interference from Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, as this just cost Fatu not only the win, but the title shot. Fatu wasn't exactly happy with the interference. LA Knight came out to make the save, and alongside Strowman, they overcame 3-on-2 numbers game. Kathy Kelly interviewed Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who touted their title success. Damian Priest was lurking in the background, loading dock. After the commercial break, Fatu was throwing a fit backstage, angry over Sikoa costing him the match. Sikoa tries to say that he was only trying to help Fatu, and Fatu said it wasn't his business. So when he's taking care of his, Sikoa better watch out. And we got Piper Niven defeated Zelina Vega by pinfall.
Yep,
that was kind of a whatever match.
Yeah, I feel bad for I feel bad for her because she's losing and she doesn't really get a lot of like she's the smallest girl in the locker room and she has the biggest heart, but she can't win the biggest matches for some reason.
And it seems like her character's kind of stalled out and become stale since she's not part of the LWO
anymore. Yeah.
Liv Morgan defeated Jade Cargill by pinfall. Naomi attacked Jade to lead to the finish and left her laying after the bell by continuing to beat her down. I thought that was a good segment. I thought that was a good push for Naomi. It takes this feud to an extra level. I liked Naomi's heel outfit of her black in the black with the yellow caution tape. I loved it. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good positioning for this feud to take the next step. And I think it did a lot to continue the momentum in the heat of this feud that was kind of almost extinguished until the last couple of weeks. So
I like the Cargill, her the way you look, her hair, she fixed her hair was more pushed back and
she had a mullet.
All I know is she looked like she was more cut, more ripped than ever. And Liv Morgan is the first woman to pin her. So
Dom was all over that luscious redneck waterfall she had. Mullet City, baby.
I don't know. All I know is she
Mullet City population Domtober.
There's your storm right there. Come on. I don't know. But that it actually makes Liv Morgan look a little stronger too by pinning her, becoming the first woman to pin Jade Cargill, even though I know it's interference, but she still pinned Jade Cargill. And that was a pretty good match. I think the match was a pretty good match.
It was a very good match.
It was had a lot of twists and turns, Naomi came out and I do like Naomi as the heel, but I still think that there's someone else, even though I think that they're separating Bianca Belair now from that whole situation, but she's been having words with Jade Cargill on Twitter.
Jay said, I don't trust her ass either. Yep. I was closer to Naomi, and now Bianca's pretty much just writing her off like, girl, whatever. I got bigger fish to fry on Raw than I do to worry about your BS. So I think we're definitely getting positioned for Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair at some point.
Maybe SummerSlam.
I mean, we have other pay-per-views before them, Dom. You got Money in the Bank, you got Backlash.
I know, but I think SummerSlam is definitely bigger.
Backlash is usually WrestleMania Backlash, so it's just a rehash of the WrestleMania matches. So maybe we get Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania Backlash.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. Maybe
if that's what it's going to be titled this year, or Money in the Bank, or one of the other pay-per-views leading up to SummerSlam.
Yeah, you're right.
Kathy Kelly interviewed Drew McIntyre, who will be looking out for Damian Priest next week in London. Seth Rollins walked over to McIntyre, but they didn't say anything. The Street Profits came to the ring for a promo about how they finally the tag team champions for the first time in 4 years. Legado El Fantasma interrupted with Santo Escobar saying it's too bad that their title reign will end abruptly as Los Garza are pissed and ready to become champions. Pretty Deadly then comes out to remind everyone that they're the number one contenders. The Street Profits offer to have a match with Los Garza since they're looking for a fight. Let me tell you something. I know, Dom, that you like Will Ospreay, but I'm telling you, Montez Ford is doing it better than Will Ospreay.
You know what? He is. No, I know that dude. He's got those moves. He's athletic, man. He's great, man. I was thinking the same thing.
I like Ospreay, but I think, like I said, Montez Ford is out here doing it so much better.
Do you think? I'm sorry. Do you think he gets single push after this tag team championship run?
I think within the next year or so he will. I don't think it's going to be like right after they lose the titles. I could definitely see them breaking up Angelo and Dawkins and having him go solo and definitely carry a United States championship. I think that's where he would go, is probably for that US championship. But I would love to see more of Montez Ford getting his shine, because he's a high flyer. He puts his body on the line. He puts it all in there for the business, and does it in and out every week. So go ahead, Sticks.
I don't mind him getting. I don't see Dawkins getting a single run. I don't know how well he would do singly. I think him as a tag team, he's a good tag team partner. He's not. I don't want to say he's not built. He's not, wired into singles competition. Whereas Montez Ford has done it before in other promotions, early beginnings of WWE, before Dawkins came in, and then they formed the Street Profits.
I just don't think you get enough shine from Dawkins. Like, you don't get to see as much because he's kind of more the brute force in the team, where Ford is the high flyer, big spot guy. So I think if they kind of position Dawkins to be more like a brawler, like a Kevin Owens type, I think he would have a good sales push.
Listen, Dawkins he does the jump to the outside once in a while. I'm not going to say he's not a high flyer, but he's a situational flyer. I don't want us to forget that he does do the outside.
But if you're looking for someone to jump off the top of a cage or Titantron,
he's not the guy.
Shane McMahon, it's going to be Montez Ford that takes that spot. Yeah, it's going to be Ford that takes that spot, not Dawkins. But,
right, absolutely. Yeah.
The Street Profits defeated Los Garza by pinfall. After the commercial break, DIY had an offer where it was if they help Pretty Deadly win the tag team titles next week, they can in return give them the first title shot. Kit Wilson and Elton Prince rejected the offer. Motor City Machine Guns then welcomed Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa to the back of the line. Then we got our final promo of the night, which are ending segment between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk, as they shared some words. Very generic stuff about how Rollins and Reigns still have beef and how Punk saved Roman's family at War Games and neither can beat him without the other's help. And Punk struck first, hitting Reigns from behind. This led to all three fighting hazardly. Punk pointed at both of them in the WrestleMania sign, saying, "I'm the best in the world," Rollins. Then did the same, and Reigns got back in control. He did the same as well. The show ended with the brawl still going on.
I'm going to tell you this right now, and you hear this right here. You hear the dirt sheets from the Dirty Dom dirt sheets here. CM Punk is getting his championship match. The favorite from Paul Heyman is going to be that whoever wins against the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, is going to get in the Cody and Cena fight. And CM Punk's going to win and get into that fight. So it's going to be a three-way battle at WrestleMania with Cody, CM Punk, and John Cena. And that's the favor that he gets. And that's how he gets into a championship match. And he gets the headline WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I was going to go there, but I was going to save it for Raw because there's a lot of things he says in his Raw promo that really lead you to that.
Yeah, I was going to say it too. I know the whole fact is, but it kind of even before Raw, I'm like, that favor, there's got to be a speculation. So night one is going to be Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk, and then whoever wins that is going to go to be in the championship match in day two. So
Overall thoughts, opinions, and review for SmackDown this week.
Yeah, I give SmackDown I'm gonna be an A. Yeah, and the reason why I give it an A, the end with the all-out brawl. They hate each other. They're fighting each other. I like that. I like that. Fight. That's what I want. I think it was good, and I think it kind of set up a couple of things too. The Braun Strowman. I think Braun Strowman should win the USA title. I think he should get an opportunity to win. A singles. I know he had the tag team with the little kid that he won that time, but I think it's time for Braun Strowman to get that. I think LA Knight should go on to other things. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think LA Knight. LA Knight or Seth Rollins or freaking goddamn Ethan Page, the third member of freaking goddamn. Make him a tag, turn face, man. Turn heel, man.
You want to see Louisiana Knight? You want to see Louisiana Knight drop the title?
Yeah, drop it.
Dom can't be happy. He gets the title back last week or 2 weeks ago, and now he's already like, oh, I need him to drop it. He's got to drop it. He's got it for too long. He's got to drop it.
I like heel.
Dom likes that domino effect. He likes it. Pick it up, drop it. Pick it up, drop it. Give it to somebody else.
You're an agent of chaos, aren't you, Dom? You just love chaos, huh?
He likes to keep it rolling. Yeah. He wants everyone to have a belt.
If I was a wrestler, it'd be called the Chaos Clutch.
The Chaos Clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you call the stranglehold you put on your wiener, the Chaos Clutch?
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, Sticks.
All right. I'm going to give this an A as well. The opening monologue and then the end brawl was kind of brought it up to an A for me. There are the couple things we'll go through when we get to Raw, but on what you guys talked about with the three-way match that. I don't want to see it going the way that we see something in Raw going. So when we get to Raw, we'll talk about that.
For me, I give it a high A+, low A-. Okay. I thought the opening promo was great.
Yep.
WWE is killing their storylines. They are throwing water now on the Tiffany Stratton Charlotte Flair.
Yep.
Beef. Like, why do we care about this match? Why does anybody care? Nobody wants to see Charlotte win another title. Why do we care about this? Is Tiffany really not in a place where they feel comfortable with her retaining over Charlotte, that they're going to just keep them apart and do split screen interviews, and what they're talking about is just babbling butt crap? I don't know what butt crap is, but
butt crap.
Babbling. They're just babbling about nothing. Like, this feud was white hot, and now it's like a slow simmer. If that.
Yeah, it's an ember, if anything.
It's an ember. And they need to really fan it to pick it up. You only got a couple weeks left till WrestleMania. Make us care about this feud. And then, of course, the ending with The Rock and Punk and Rollins was good. So that's why I say high B+, low A- for me. Moving on to Monday Night Raw. Oh boy, here we go. John Cena opens the show with a promo calling the fans terrible people who have to resort to profanity and saying that he knows more about the crowd than they know about themselves and that they know nothing about Cena. Now, let me point out, do you both feel that after the first round of fuck you Cenas, the censor team at WWE Netflix was just like, fuck it, it's out of control, we can't do anything anymore? Because they stopped trying to censor the crowd. They stopped trying to censor the F word. They were flying by them like they were playing goalie for the Rangers. It just,
I know,
zinging them in there, and the censors couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
Well, you see what they can do if they're smart. They have it on replay. They can freaking goddamn censor it on the replay. Live, forget about it. Live, just let it go because it makes no sense stopping it, going. What you do is the second time around, yes, you censor it out. and you can get into the censor it out the second go round because it's not live anymore. You have your team on it right off the bat. I think it's stupid censoring out the crowd because the crowd is there hearing the curses. There's kids in the crowd hearing the curses. So if you show it on TV, it doesn't make a difference if a kid hears it here, on TV because it's out there in public.
Broader audience on TV or wider audience. So, I mean, it makes sense to bleep it. But again, to our point from weeks, it's premium content. You're paying for this service. They don't bleep anything else out. So why try to bleep this? I like the picture that's like, we'll call him Big Tommy. Big Tommy, the censorer for Netflix and Raw, WWE, just fell asleep mid eating a ham sandwich at that censor button.
It's like, I love how they block out somebody giving you the finger too, which is so stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
Yeah.
Cena tells the crowd that their lives are sad. To him, the audience has been nothing more than an experiment, like rats in a cage. Pick out any moment in his career, and he'll say that what he learned about them. They always want to matter. He mentions the spinner title as his greatest idea in April 2025 because he changed the championship to a toy to disrespect their legacy. Since the fans were vulnerable enough to tell him that meant the most to them or to him back then, he's going to ruin wrestling for everyone by winning a 17th world title, and he'll force everyone to forget the name Ric Flair so they can forever say John Cena instead. But even worse, he's going to retire with the title, and it'll force everyone else to create a brand new toy belt. He will be the last real champion in WWE. Cody Rhodes comes out next and says that in order to do any of that, he has to go through Rhodes. First, he offers Cena a shot right now, but Cena backs off, and Rhodes says Cena is going to walk away empty-handed, just like now at WrestleMania, and then he retires too. So let's break this promo down a little bit.
Okay.
There are underlying themes to what Dom said. He mentions exactly what CM Punk did to him in Chicago, beat him for the title, left the company. That's what his whole shtick is of, I'm going to beat you and I'm going to ruin it by retiring the champion and taking my ball and going home. That's a good nod to CM Punk right there, being into this match. Cody came out this week to the credit, and I've been hearing on a lot of other shows that WWE's listening to podcasts, WWE's listening to content, WWE's taking ideas that they're hearing out there. I like that they positioned Cody Rhodes a little bit stronger. We've got one more week of John Cena, and then we don't know if we're seeing him again until WrestleMania.
Yep.
This coming up Monday on Raw is our last John Cena appearance that we know of until WrestleMania. They have to do something to quickly ignite this feud to make it white hot. Cena coming out and whining and just pointing the finger at the crowd 2 weeks in a row. We get no altercation. We get no physicality. And as I went back and listened to his promo last week, I kind of thought about it. And Cody Rhodes told him last week, I sat back there and I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to hear what you had to say. And this week he's like, I gave you that, but now what you're saying pisses me off. Let's fight. And he rips his shirt, looking like Marco after a couple drinks at a Morton Steakhouse. 2 buttons down.
That's not wrong. That's not wrong.
2 buttons, holding on for dear life on that shirt.
Dead on. Matt, I have to give you a thumbs up on that one.
Yeah, and so Cody amps up the physicality. He knows he positions himself away from looking weak, looking like a little bitch, like I called him last week. And I commend him on that. That it's slowly building.
Very slow.
But the Ric Flair comment is interesting because everybody knows that Ric Flair has 16 championships and that Cena is going to break his record. But why bring Ric Flair up? Do you think Ric Flair shows up at WrestleMania and gets involved in this somehow? Do you think Ric Flair shows up with Cody Rhodes and shows up in Cody Rhodes' corner to try and stop Cena from winning 17 and breaking his record?
I think it opens the door. Because you don't mention somebody without having some kind of a backup, a plan to bring it in, because they've been going out on Twitter too. If you Flair has been going back and forth on Twitter about, I don't want to see him win my belt, break my record. So there could be a possibility he shows up. Shows up to try to help Cody and actually betrays Cody. What do you think?
I don't think he betrays Cody.
Or wait, he's the member, The Rock. The other one, The Rock is talking about that he's working with The Rock.
No, because I think that would have.
That wouldn't keep him from keeping Cena from winning another title if he's on his side.
No, it's all a ploy for him to win the 17th time.
No, because I think that would. WWE seems to be very cautious with how they're using Ric Flair and if they're going to use Ric Flair. And so I think that was going to require Flair to give more of a commitment than he's probably willing to give to add to this storyline.
Yeah.
I think if he comes out at WrestleMania for a one and done to interfere and try and stop Cena from winning 17, it makes sense. And then he goes back into obscurity, whatever he's doing, pushing his Ric Flair woo juice or whatever it is, his weed, or going back to trying to get his bill passed to get a Wrestling Hall of Fame in North Carolina. But I open it up to you guys. What did you think of the Cena promo for our second, taste, our helping of the heel John Cena?
I still think that it was a waste. A wasted opportunity. Yeah, you're talking, but you're still not getting to the point of why you're working with The Rock, why you betrayed freaking Cody.
Still no mention of The Rock.
No, exactly. And you're blaming the crowd for your doings and the fans in the crowd. And no confrontation between freaking, he kicked you in the freaking goddamn nads. He humiliated you. He freaking turned heel. He's working for The Rock.
Well, I think we got why he turned on Cody, because Cody is the people's champion, the now self-titled, or maybe not self-titled. I think the fans in the We Want Cody movement kind of bestowed that title upon him, but he's now the ipso facto people's champ. Yeah. And Cena's issue is with the WWE universe and the way they abused him and took advantage of him for the last umpteen years. So consequently, his issue is with Cody Rhodes because of them. So he did kind of explain that, but there's still no mention of what his alliance with The Rock means. What else is going to play into this? So I give that to you there, but I have to rebuttal you on, I think he kind of gave us why he did what he did to Cody, at least.
I know, but it's still lame. You want to see these guys go at it. You want to see why John Cena is a heel. See, this is the thing. They're kind of making it the fact, he turned heel for a little bit because he's got to turn face again to retire and go off on his merry way. You're not going to be heel and retire. So you kind of did what you did for the wrong reasons, but there's still hope for redemption with the situation. So it's kind of an odd friggin' scenario. And the thing that sucks the most is that you got The Rock there. Rock is the leader of this friggin' goddamn faction that's going on, and they're never around. And it's like, it kind of sucks. So that story can never progress to the way you want it to progress. All right, fine. You want to have these promos, the way this and that, to lead up to something bigger. Maybe the third time the charm, Monday night, Monday afternoon at 3:00, because it's going to be a 3:00 show again. Maybe we get the altercation situation now with Cena and Cody, the brawl that people have been waiting for. To end Monday Night Raw going into, because he's probably not going to show up again until WrestleMania. We're not going to see him for like 4 weeks. So Give her that. But The Rock should be involved one way or the other. He should come on the Titantron. It should be a tape promo. You're right. There's nothing on Instagram. There's none of these things that when The Rock was going social media wise. I don't know if they want to keep it hush hush or it's just going to go into WrestleMania that John Cena is going to win the belt and do what he's got to do and then lose the belt later on. I still think that John Cena is going to stay with the belt for a little while until Money in the Bank or something like that. And they're going to cash in. And I think Money in the Bank is cashed in early this time. You know, I think it gets cashed in on one of the first pay-per-views after Money in the Bank.
You don't think it gets cashed in the same night?
No, I don't think so. It maybe, but I don't think so. I think either that or they wait for SummerSlam. He walks away at SummerSlam.
Well, I mean, if you believe the Dirty Dom dirt sheets, cheap pop, WWE is playing this heel turn very close to the chest.
Yep.
I think it's changing minute by minute, and they're keeping it very close to the chest, and they're trying to keep it as unpredictable as possible.
Yeah.
Sticks, Cena's promo, your thoughts?
All right. I'll tell you what I liked about the promo. I liked the fact that he threw down on the kid last week and making the memes. You know, I like that.
Yeah,
still
going at him, still roasting the poor little kid.
Yeah, that kid needs to face Cena for the title if he gets it.
Spend his life savings to deck out in John Cena gear only to get roasted. And did you see that? Now they've got pictures of him photoshopped in Jey Uso Yeet gear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna be now.
There you go. The promo is running flat for me. This from last week to this week. Cody's part was much better than it was last week. You know, with the trying to throw down with him this week, at least not just throwing the mic down and walking off. This time he was actually trying to goad him into a fight. Perfect. The problem is that they're not, and you both have said it, they're not progressing the story to why he is heel. Yes, we know, because of the fans, but why has he teamed up with The Rock? Why has he sided with The Rock at that point? I kind of think, my thinking is that I think they went too early with his heel turn. I think they should have waited till and have Cody beat him at Mania. Heel turn there. Get the Money in the Bank, and then go from there. Have him win have him with the title. But
well, I think you're gonna get, though, doing it in Elimination Chamber, you get the full effect because you can get the slow burn to his actual heel turn where I pretty much guarantee we're gonna get new music, new shirts, all that at Mania. And then you can go full story with it and have it come back around to him being face again and running away. But go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Here's the only reason why I kind of think that is because right now, he's gone heel. But they don't. It doesn't seem like they have something set up for the why and the moving forward. They don't have anything set up with it. It seems like they kind of threw it together in January. Even though they say, it's, we've had this all along. I call BS on that. Get it, so I just think it's kind of thrown together, moved in too quickly. I think they could have been a little bit more of a draw out for it, and then have something set up where you have it, where they're talking more Rock, more what's going on with that faction, or if you want to call it a faction, because they don't really show up at any time. But I didn't like the promo. I did not like his promo.
Yeah, I felt like it's repetitive the last 2 weeks, and he's just bitching and whining about the fans, and there needs to be some lighter fluid added to this fire, because right now it's going nowhere. And speaking of fire that's going nowhere, the Usos Jey Uso joined his brother Jimmy Uso. Defeated A-Town Down Under, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory by pinfall. I know we all wanted Joe Hendry, but I don't know why none of us saw Big Jim coming out to be Jay's partner.
Because they have to get the fact that Gunther is going to fight him and beat him bad and come out, and that's going to make Jimmy.
Oh yeah, they pretty much already gave that away the minute that they had that backstage confrontation and Big Jim slapped the shit out of Gunther.
Oh yeah, he's back to big time.
Dun, 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 dun. Ever seen that meme where they?
Yeah. Jay tripped before doing a spear and was getting the worst of the fight until Jimmy brought in a steel chair as an equalizer and the ring general retreated. Backstage at Judgment Day, Sans Finn Balor talks about their disappointment of the Balor losing last week. Liv Morgan told Dominic Mysterio that he's instincts about bringing someone into the new group were always right, just like when he brought her in. A video package aired that hypes up the history of El Grande Americano, and then LWO is talking to Adam Pearce backstage about how ridiculous this is because it's clearly Chad Gable. Gable walks over and claims he's not him, but that he's sick and has a doctor's note to prove it. Gable suggests that since he can't be wrestling tonight, Dragon Lee should face El Grande Americano instead. Who would have thought how ridiculous this all started with Chad Gable going out to learn the dark arts of lucha libre, and now they're playing the audience like pretending like we're fools because we all clearly know that El Grande Americano is Chad Gable.
Are you Hulk Hogan?
Right. And so
No, brother.
But ever since he donned this luchador mess, he's become one of the most interesting things on Raw.
You know what's
His
funny?
shtick and gimmick is more interesting than Gunther and Jey Uso.
You know what the funny thing is? I wish they would have had that last a little bit longer for him instead of coming back, like a little bit more of a journey, have more like interactions and do super crazy things.
Yeah.
And then
At least a montage or something.
Yeah, but you know what? But you're right, Matt. It is a little intriguing and fun. Is it Chad Gable or is it someone else? You know, type of a thing. We all know it's Chad Gable. Maybe. We don't know.
Maybe.
But maybe.
Whoever he may be.
I'm loving it. This reminds me too much of the Elias gimmick with his brother.
Yes. With driving the KO freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Elias fucking Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Ezekiel
Alliance. Elias. Very much feels like that.
That's funny.
We saw a women's Intercontinental Championship match. Lyra Valkyria defeated Raquel Rodriguez by pinfall with a roll-up. Rodriguez and Liv Morgan double-teamed Valkyria after the match until Bayley made the save. It was a pretty good match. But again, I want to know what she's going to do with that belt at WrestleMania. And who she's going to face. Probably, it seems like she's going to face Bayley now for that belt at WrestleMania. Yep. Backstage, Jay is feeling down on himself, doubting himself. Jimmy hypes him up and that he can't beat Gunther if this is the version of himself he's presenting. He needs to be the main event Jey Uso, who won the Royal Rumble. Jimmy walks to the side and immediately runs into Gunther, challenging him to a match next week. And when Gunther accepts and takes a dig at Jay, tripping, Jay slaps the hell out of him. That was a good moment, adding a little bit of heat to this.
He slapped the dentures out of his mouth, man. That was funny.
And I, again, got to give it up to Dom because a few weeks ago, I thought for sure that Gunther didn't need this angle. He didn't have to go attack Jay's family. And Jimmy so far has stepped in and been the savior of this feud because it was damn near snuffed out. You might as well have thrown a fire blanket on this bad boy or pissed on the embers because it was about as dead can be.
Big Jim turned around and told Gunther, what did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap. You know, like I said, this might pump it up a little bit more to make it the bring it because it's on life support right now. The whole freaking feud. Like I said, after this, Rikishi has to be involved to really make it a little bit because it's losing steam. But we all know that Gunther is going to lose the belt. Jimmy's going to win. But how long are they going to hold the belt for?
You mean Jey?
Jey's going to win. How long is he going to hold the belt for? You know, that's the whole thing. We don't know. Like the Money in the Bank come up. You know, it's just it sucks because it had a lot of promising factors to it. You know, he surprised everybody with winning the Rumble. You know, he electrified everybody coming out. You know, with the gimmick Yeet, and lost 3 times to Gunther, and now having going after him again for the belt and wrestled the biggest stage of all. And I don't understand why it fizzled out this whole storyline, because you know there's only so much you can do. You have to look. You have to make Gunther unbeatable, and you have Goliath. Samson beating Goliath. You know, type of scenario. You know, you have to have something that he like. If they would have had Joe Hendry come out, Joe Hendry would have been the perfect thing to fight. He could have fought Joe Hendry the week after, beat him, and say he's beating champions. How am I going to beat this guy? And I don't know. It's boring. The boring aspect, the storyline sucks. I can tell you that.
Sticks, any comments?
No. I don't like the fact of making Jey like this, sitting on the corner like an after school special. You know, he's sitting there crying. You know, and Jimmy has to come and console him. Yeah, Jimmy's gonna step up. He's the big brother. I'm fine with that. That he slapped the taste right out of his mouth, and we'll see him next week. I'm fine with that. But I think the whole thing, this better be the last one with these guys. Because if he loses and tries to win Money in the Bank, put him in Money in the Bank and push him again for a 4th time or a 5th time, no thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Adam Pearce goes to the ring and explains that the contract situation with the women's world title retaining that Rhea Ripley is not in the match. Sorry, it's reiterating. I can't read my own writing. Reiterating that Rhea Ripley is not in the match. Io Sky comes out, followed by Bianca Belair, followed by Rhea Ripley. Pearce eventually breaks through their arguing to announce that next week Rhea Ripley faces Sky for the title, and the winner faces Belair at WrestleMania. The EST of WWE ends up standing tall with the belt after all 3 women fought again. I'm calling right now. Rhea's beating Io on Monday for that title. And it's going to be that Bianca Belair interferes and costs Io that title to Rhea getting in it. And Adam Pearce is going to have no choice but to make it a triple threat. And I still think Io loses at Mania. Again,
well. Look, if she loses at Mania, she's going to lose because her compadres are going to do it, lose it for her. You know, Dakota. You know, I think you got to bring them into the storyline. You need Io to go on our own. You know, and like I said, I don't know. Is Asuka coming back anytime soon? You know, is what's her name? What's the other girl again? I keep forgetting. Harry Saint. Is she coming back soon? So you need some rivalries for Io to fight, the people to fight. So I think that the whole damage control shit is done, you know, and you move forward. But if Rhea wins the belt, you have Bianca Belair fight, and then I think that's where you get friggin' Jay Cargill coming in. He's gonna find out that Bianca was the mastermind. Because right now, what she's saying on Twitter, going back and forth about things that she can't, you know, that she has no time for this stuff, going back and forth, that's heel talk. You know, so we'll see. I like Io Sky. You know, I like, you know, it's just
she's getting overshadowed, and she's the champion, and she's being overshadowed by Rhea and Liv.
I know, and that's disrespectful. And that's annoying to the fact that she's a champion, but we'll see what happens. I mean, personally, I don't think I can see Io keeping the belt, going to WrestleMania, keeping the belt there, and Bianca Belair and Rhea become fighting each other, and then Jay Cargill comes in the midst, and that's where you get Jay Cargill versus Rhea Ripley, because people want to see that. That all becomes a big thing, and we get that for SummerSlam. I don't care. I think SummerSlam is going to be a WrestleMania type of thing. You need to have
it's got to be a big card. It's 2 nights.
Card. Exactly. So you're going to have that Bianca Belair friggin' this is what I think is going to happen. Everything comes to a boil of WrestleMania. Bianca Belair, has the feud with Jay Cargill down the road. I think Naomi comes into the fact that she gets involved, and eventually becomes Naomi versus Bianca Belair, and then Jay Cargill winds up fighting Rhea Ripley. And like I said, I think Io winds up the group implodes, and he fights those girls. And you're gonna have to change things around, because I don't see the Rhea Ripley Bianca Belair thing going further than what it's going, because eventually Jay Cargill has to interfere one way or the other. And I think she does interfere in WrestleMania. That's why Bianca Belair does not win the belt, because Jay Cargill is going to interfere with that.
Yeah.
Sticks, any thoughts?
I really wasn't too happy with this week's positioning of this match. I like how they're doing the disrespect of Io. I think that's the way to go, because she is such a small in stature girl compared to them.
She'll still kick your ass, Sticks.
I'll let her.
So would I.
I'll let her. The whole way they did with the Bianca being the guest, the in-part referee, I thought should have been the whole part of the same thing, not just some backstage afterthought. That should have taken place out in the ring with what was going on, not in the back. And I mentioned this earlier, that I don't want this to happen the same way with the Rollins, McIntyre, or Punk thing. Yeah, I don't want that to be the same way, where they do the kind of the same thing. You two are going to fight. You're going to be the guest referee. I don't want it to be a mirror of this, because I don't like this. I don't like that they have that. I think if anything's going to happen, Io Sky is going to retain, either because of Bianca or because of some other reason. And then still face, because I think Bianca would rather face Io than Rhea Ripley any day. I think her mindset should be, I have more chance of beating Io than I do beating Ripley. And that should be where the push goes in that direction, as far as Bianca's concerned. So that's where I am on that one.
Good insight, Sticks. And backstage, Penta is approached by Dominic Mysterio, who offers him a spot in the Judgment Day and wants him to think about it. The New Day then demands a tag team title match for WrestleMania. Pierce is fired up and basically tells him to earn it. Then Belair comes over to complain, and Pierce told her she'll have a special guest referee for the women's world title match next week. She's not happy about that, but she says that she has a week to figure it out, because she complains about not knowing how to be a referee. Then we got to see the greatest luchador ever, hailing from the Gulf of America, El Grande Americano, in action against Dragon Lee, and beat Dragon Lee by submission after he unmasked Dragon Lee, giving Gable the chance to put him in the ankle lock for the win. I mean, sorry, not Chad Gable. Excuse me, El Grande Americano.
That's right, Matt. Right.
Get it right.
Correct. As long as you correct yourself. I actually, that's funny, and not for anything. He looks like he's been training, working out, otherwise too, like dieting, because you can see he's
he looks shredded.
Exactly, man. But wow, man, he looks more conditioned now than he did when he fought Penta for the first time. You know what I'm saying? That couple of weeks that he he took off to do some stuff. You know what? He maybe wanted a fast diet or something like that. He wanted something to do something. He was fasting, and he kind of
Did you say he was taking the slim? Did you say he was taking the slim fast diet?
No, fasting.
Oh, fasting.
Okay. Fasting. Yeah. So like I said, because he looks shredded, man. And like that, man. You know, like I respect that when you when you are in your sport, you should look good in the ring. You know, and be an athletic. So he's been doing it for a while. You know, so kind of he deserves a championship, a belt, like a Intercontinental Championship or U.S. Championship. He deserves something like that. You know, but we'll see. But I like the gimmick. I like what's going on, and it's gonna be a fun ride. He'll bring some comedic aspects to the luchador, freaking division.
Yeah, I like what he's doing as well. I think this is gonna kind of be a good push when they try and bring in Ray Fenix. I think that's gonna kind of be part of this storyline going forward with the luchador. With them now owning the luchador company there,
Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground. I think that's where all this is kind of come to kind of build up a fervor for that Lucha Underground, to bring it to a mainstream viewing somewhere on like USA or I don't think it would be on Netflix.
Apple TV.
Apple TV or Amazon.
More wrestling on TV.
How about Weed TV?
Yeah. They just added NXT on Tubi now, so
yeah.
So that's their whole wrestling catalog is increased since they started showing Evolve. So I happened to be looking through their catalog last night, and they added a lot of older wrestling promotions that aren't really on like YouTube or anything like that. So check it out if you like old wrestling and indie promotions too. So it's not like all WWE or WCW stuff.
CM Punk cut a promo about how he brought both Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins into the business, which he did because he started the Shield faction, and can't wait to take them out of it. They have a contract signing on SmackDown, and he wants to see if the triple threat match is going to bring him any closer to what he wants, or if another rug pull for him by the powers that be. And he made this one specific comment of, I still have the favor, and I want to see if this verbiage in the contract is accurate. And what I want is in that contract, which goes back to what Dom said earlier, that I agree with Dom 100%, that I think they are going to make this stipulation that the winner of this triple threat match gets added to the John Cena Cody Rhodes night 2 main event. But it was, again, another good promo by Punk, who has no slouch in his promo game since returning to WWE.
Of course. He's been a model citizen to the WWE. Did you watch the
Stephanie's Places?
Yes, the Stephanie thing with.
I have not watched it yet.
Yes, I watched some clips of it, and they talked about when he came back to Survivor Series, and the talking terms between him and Triple H were non-existent, and for them to come up and to come back, like hell froze over. That still gives me like, wow, he actually came back when people were always doubting it, that he's never going to come back. Yeah, WWE, this and that, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, look, this is the way I see this whole story going. CM Punk is going to win because Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns hate each other. And that's where Paul Heyman comes in and betrays Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins becomes his new protege. That makes a lot of sense right there. That he actually takes Seth Rollins underneath his wing and becomes Seth Rollins' wise man. And that keeps the feud going with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And it moves forward. It moves into a different direction. And CM Punk goes to WrestleMania, the main event WrestleMania, like he never did before. He finally gets his main event time. So,
I think something would have to happen for Heyman to take Seth under his wing.
I think the writing's on the wall. Heyman is going to betray Roman. He is betraying Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, when Roman Reigns disappeared after losing, Cody Rhodes, Paul Heyman got thrown to a table.
Cody Rhodes.
Got thrown to a table.
Cody Rhodes.
Was held hostage for Solo for so damn long.
Mm-hmm.
And he called Roman Reigns, no answer. To come back and still be Roman Reigns' wise man.
Mm-hmm.
After that, there's something big brewing. WrestleMania, you're going to see the betrayal.
Cody Rhodes.
Betrayals, a lot of big, intriguing stuff for WrestleMania.
Logan Paul had a quick insert about how he's calling out AJ Styles next week on Monday Night Raw.
From his hot tub.
Then we got into our men's Intercontinental Championship match. Bron Breakker defeating Penta via disqualification after Dominic Mysterio's interferes. Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Carlito offer Penta an opportunity to join their attack. Penta decides to fight with Breakker instead, so the Judgment Day took them both out to end the show. Thoughts, opinions, and takes on Monday Night Raw for March 24th.
I give it an A.
Really?
Like I said, for what it's worth, it's
Sticks
just
is not happy with your grade.
I gave it an A because, the promos with CM Punk is always great. You have the promos with Cody and the promos with Cena, that it's just it's trying to shape up to be WrestleMania, and I know that I wish there's gonna be other things. And like I said, they're putting championship matches on Raw. Even though there was no change of hands in Raw tonight on Monday night, they're giving a little bit more excitement to the Monday night. And I tell you, the best thing about the Monday night is the CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins stuff, man. That I like that. Other than that, I know it's not to both of you guys probably not A quality, but I thought it was an A. I actually thought it was much better than last week's. A little bit better than last week's. I don't know.
Them are some big words. Dom, Sticks, your rebuttal.
I give this one a solid B. I didn't think it was better than last week. In fact, I thought it went down a little bit, and not just because of the opening promo, but a couple of things in the middle and toward the end there. Didn't seem like it was. Didn't seem to hit like it really should have, and I don't know if it's because they're overseas. And maybe a lot of their producers aren't there to bump it, but it just didn't hit with me this week on the Raw stuff. So I give it a B.
I give Monday Night Raw a C-.
Wow.
I thought it was terrible. It was not the crowd. Last week's crowd was majestic.
Oh yeah, last week's
crowd had some good spots too, but I mean, other than the big Jim, lighting a little bit more fuel on the Gunther Jey Uso match and the Punk promo, I think Cena's whining stuff fell flat. Cena's promo fell flat for me.
Yeah.
It's so much so that people are talking about Chad Gable as El Grande Americano instead of John Cena in the heel turn. What are we doing? And the main event, okay, I thought Lyra Valkyria versus Raquel Rodriguez was okay, but I thought the main event was kind of flat too. Even at the end, I thought it was flat. So yeah, for me, man, Raw this week was a C minus. Other than the Punk promo and the spots with Jey and Jimmy and that stuff, it just wasn't there for me. It wasn't a solid Raw for me.
Okay, that's understandable. Hey, that is understandable a lot.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't a Raw that we should be having. These being on Netflix should be, they should be coming out firing, and they just don't seem like they are. Especially being overseas, these overseas crowd, you're putting a lot of money into being overseas.
Yeah,
you gotta step up your game, guys. This isn't the game you need to be bringing. So,
especially when the crowd is making the show. If this Raw was a US based show, I think it's a D. It's a completely flat for me. I agree, man. We are on the road to WrestleMania. We are like 3 weeks from WrestleMania. Step it up. I understand slow burn, long-term store booking.
The slow burn is.
But there's a difference between a slow burn and a slog, and I feel like this is just slugging along at a snail's pace.
One thing I'll say is I wouldn't be surprised if, like, sometime down the road when they start talking about their experiences over here, that a lot of the talent says that going from country to country over there kind of had a toll on them, because that might be an issue with what we're seeing. They're going from Belfast to Italy to like Jimmy went from Italy to France. Was it France? In like 3 nights. That's a time. That's a time change. Yeah, it's a different time change, but I don't know. They're doing a lot over there. Instead of just 1 or 2 shows, they're doing 4 shows in different countries.
Yeah. But let us know what you thought about Monday Night Raw in the comment section below. And let's move on to our review of NXT, or as I've dubbed this week's episode, Dom Needs Extra Tissues, as we get a double appearance by the lovely Stephanie Valkyria and her assets.
Oh, yeah.
As the show opens with an NXT Championship match, Stephanie Valkyria defeating Jada Parker by pinfall with a little help from a distraction from Jordan Grace. Fatal Influence attacked Valkyria after the match. I thought that was a good spot.
Yes, it was. And, oh, man.
They positioned to make Stephanie look
double assets, I can honestly say. And you can back both of them up on me. That's it.
Then we got in a locker room, Javon Evans once again tried to get Trick Williams on his side regarding the Dark State. And Williams once again talked about the differences between Evans having potential and Trick being a former champion who is focused on getting that title back. It's been the same basic promo for like 3 weeks.
Yep. Let me ask you a question. Do you have the slightest feeling that either Femi or Trick is the leader of the what's the other state?
Dark State.
Dark State.
Dark State, yeah.
I would say it's probably Trick, because Femi's the one that keeps getting left laying. But maybe it's Femi. It could be a Saw type switch.
Because we actually thought that it was Ricky Saints.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's not. It's making you believe it's one of them now.
A little bit.
We can see what happens, I don't know.
Speaking of Ricky Saints stacked down with Vic Joseph And Vic asked him about the people saying that he doesn't belong. Saints talks about how he believes in himself and he's gotten to where he is because of his confidence. So Sean Spears interrupts and started grilling Saints over his overconfidence and how he didn't ask him to be in the culling because of that. Saints makes it clear that he's coming for the North American title. Spears threatens Saints that he burnt every bridge. He says you could just go back to 08. No, you can't.
I love the jabs, stuff like that. I don't know. That whole thing, Ricky Saints, no freaking friends in NXT. Everybody it's against him, Matt. His back against the wall, odds against him, and I'll show you that I am the better champ, the better wrestler. I'll show you how I'm going to friggin' my confidence will get me to where I got to be. I don't know. I think he's much better with AEW. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we haven't seen a lot with him yet in NXT.
No, but AEW, he shined more in AEW for the time. I know it's a slow thing, and I know that eventually it's a slow burn. This is only
his third week.
I think a month. He's been a month already, right?
Yeah, something like that. But he's only had one match on NXT.
Yeah.
He had a tag team match.
Yeah, and he had one match, and then he had
one match.
Yeah, with Ethan Page. Yeah, I don't know.
Tyreek Nguyen and Tyson DuPont and Wes Lee were watching the interview. In the background were Ethan Page and Chase and Connors, as well as Dixon setting up Chase against Page. Elsewhere backstage, Hank Walker and Tank Ledger talked to the Motor City Machine Guns to get hyped for the tag team match. Guayue and Tyson DuPont defeated Tank Ledger and Hank Walker by pinfall with some help from Wesley's interference. Backstage, Ava was asked Stephanie Valkyria, who is being taped up, if she's able to defend her other title tonight. Valkyria wants to keep her word about being a fighting double champion as she is La Primavera. Sarah Schreiber interviewed Fraxium. Axiom spoke about facing Gunther on SmackDown, saying it's a moment he'll never forget. Nathan Fraser was upset for not getting an invite and suggested that if he had been there, maybe Axiom could have beaten Gunther. Axiom pointed out that the monitor that Oba Femi looked pissed and left the area while Fraser was busy looking at the screen. Next, we got an NXT Heritage Cup match. Lexis King defeating Javon Evans by countout. Obafemi attacked Evans to get back at him for last week, which caused the countout scenario. Dark State then approached the ring, but stopped while still in the crowd as Trick Williams came out to go after Obafemi. So it starts to feel like maybe it's Trick Williams who is part of this group.
I don't know.
Go ahead, Dom.
Would that work in Trick Williams' favor? He was champion. He lost his title. He had his run as champion. He wasn't heel in the beginning. Wasn't he heel in the beginning? He was a heel.
He was with I believe you would call him a heel when he was with
him.
I can't think of his name now.
Oh damn. I hate this when I can't think.
Yeah. Come on, Sticks.
Him.
What's his name? SmackDown
roster. Well, anyway, he was a heel. He was a champ. He became a face. He won this and that. Blah blah blah. And now they go back with a faction that could be.
I not remember his name.
I can't remember his name too. It's like freaking Raquel Rodriguez last week. We couldn't freaking think of her name.
I can't remember his name, but go ahead. I'm finished what you're saying.
I'm just saying, the fact is that I don't know, to give him a faction now, to be a leader of a faction, because they were talking about Trick coming up.
Mello
Hayes.
Mello Hayes.
Freaking goddamn.
Oh my god.
Yo, dude, freaking brain dead.
Yeah, my brain was like dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Do. Cue Windows shutting down tune right there.
Roster in SmackDown. So I think he's coming up. Because they're gonna have in April. They're gonna have the damn the draft again in April. So, me personally, that draft shit I wouldn't do the drafting. Just have people on the show, and they can interact with other people, this and that. You don't have to be dedicated to SmackDown. You can freaking go to fight. It gives you more opportunity for people who aren't fighting. No.
Speaking of people who haven't fight in a long time, Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan, my girl Gigi, defeated the Meta Girls, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend by pinfall.
Yep.
Then when at the restaurant, Tony D'Angelo was informed by two random dudes that the streets are talking a lot. Sounds like Dom. The rest of the family walked into the room, and he talks about how they need to sort out what Dark State is all about. Strangely, Tony asked Stax if he's good and talks about how he can always trust him, with Stax reassuring him, but D'Angelo looks concerned.
Damn, the streets are talking. That's my freaking thing for my Instagram. The streets are talking. What do they say? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Stop using my shit.
The streets is talking, and they're saying, it ain't
Content
it, Tony.
thieves, Dom. Content
It ain't
thieves.
it. Yeah.
I know.
Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin give Hank and Tank a pep talk about how it's short-term pain for a long-term gain and how it takes a long time to get to their level, so they shouldn't give up. We saw Ethan Page defeat Andre Chase by pinfall. Ricky Saints was ringside for the match and got jumped by the calling after the bell. Then we got the women's NXT North American Championship match. Stephanie Valkyria defeating Fallon Henley by pinfall. Jordan Grace helped Valkyria fight off Fatal Influence after the match, and Jada Parker also went on the attack, but not being able to get one over on Grace. The show ended with the women's division all trying to get in Ava's ear about being the next in line for a title shot, while Grace and Valkyria continued to stare each other down in the ring. We're leading to Jordan Grace versus Valkyria for the North American Championship at NXT Stand and Deliver.
She's going to win it.
Yes, Jordan Grace will win the title from her
Yes.
at Stand and Deliver.
Yep.
Valkyria will, I think, continue to hold the NXT Championship
until Julia comes back.
It's going to be this week after week. I think she's going to be defending a title to where it gets too much for her. And then Jordan Grace is that final wall she can't get over. And Jordan Grace is going to beat her for that North American Championship. And I agree. She holds the NXT Women's Championship until Julia comes back.
Until probably at the fall or something like that. And look, I'm going to give this a solid A+ for one reason. And it's two reasons. Freaking Stephanie Valkyria.
Double A's.
Yeah, double A's, exactly.
Quad A's,
Yo,
actually.
Oh my God. Yo, triple dose of A. How come NXT, the action is so much better? This is so much more going on in NXT. And it's just A+ for me, NXT.
Yeah,
Sticks.
I think it comes down to the writers and the producers. I think they got some good people at NXT, and I agree. This show was an A+ program. I from the beginning to the end, I loved it.
I agree. NXT was an A+ for me as well. I loved both championship matches. I love Jordan Grace.
Great matches.
Getting some shine. It was a great program. Now we are pre-recording this on a Wednesday night because unfortunately Dom's got to work tomorrow when we be live, so we don't have an AEW review. So we're gonna hand it over to Dom now for our off the mat spotlight. Now, before we do that, I want to say if you've liked all of our takes and you've made it to this point, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and turn that bell on so you know whenever we go live with all of our premium wrestling content. And on that note, Dom Tober, take it away for your spotlight.
Step into the ring. The crowd is loud. Spotlight on a hero, standing fierce and proud.
So,
Dom, tell the beautiful people who you're educating us about this week.
So the spotlight is going to be John Cena.
I don't see anybody there. There's nobody on the screen.
I don't see. You can't see me.
All I see is a T-shirt.
Yo, who we doing? Who we doing today? John Cena?
Yeah, I just see a T-shirt, a type-out T-shirt, just hanging out in front of a JP Penny sign.
Yeah. So listen, since John Cena turned heel, I want to try to get a spotlight on him. Just it's something that the people already probably know. Just a little a brusher up on who John Cena is and what he has accomplished since his first appearance in WWE.
Oh, his first appearance in WWE. What issue is that? Ruthless Aggression?
Ruthless Aggression. Yep, the Ruthless Aggression era when he smacked Kurt Angle. Yep, so let's start. All right, so John Cena started in 2001, and when he came in, he was signed. The person in charge of talent relations was Jim Ross, which is at the time good. On behalf of that, he was known in the World Wrestling Federation. According to Ross, he was returned to Connecticut after signing Cena. He walked into Vince McMahon's office and told him, "I just signed your main event for WrestleMania in the next 5 years," that's a bold statement. But it came true. John Cena would eventually make his WrestleMania debut 3 years later at WrestleMania 20 in 2004, winning the United States Championship from the Big Show. That's freaking awesome. That's basically you have like the slow. With the big slow.
It's a big bad slow tonight.
So he won the Big Show. And at WrestleMania 21, the following year, he won the WWE Championship from John Bradshaw Layfield. So that's freaking amazing. So the following year, so the year after, he won the big championship off of John Layfield. So he's already becoming a legend, if you really think about it, at the early age. So he wrestled WrestleMania main event, beating Triple H to keep his championship. He also main event WrestleMania 2007 versus Shawn Michaels. And in 2011 versus The Miz. In 2012 and 13 versus The Rock, he also wrestled many other premium live events. In 2010, he during the match between Wade Barrett and Randy Orton won, so Cena was forced to retire. He was rehired by Wade Barrett and defeated him in table ladders and chairs. He also was drafted to SmackDown as the first pick in 2011's draft. But before the end of the night, he was drafted back to Raw. He was defeated by The Rock at WrestleMania. WrestleMania, 29. He also won his second Royal Rumble in 2013. Thus, another match in WrestleMania 29 against The Rock. Well, that was 28. 28, so 29 now. And he won the match and became champion of The Rock. So that was his claim to fame up to that point. And these are his championship accolades that he's won throughout his entire career. Best feud decade against Edge, match of the year against Shawn Michaels. He was the Wrestler of the Year in 2007, 2010, and the Feud of the Year 2010 versus Nexus. Which actually, that when he fought Nexus, that was actually pretty cool. That whole Nexus thing. The Ohio Valley Wrestling, he won the OVW Heavyweight Championship and the OV Sudden Tag Team Championship with Rico Constantino. Pro Wrestling Illustrated Feud of the Year 2006 versus Edge, Feud of the Year 2011 with CM Punk, Match of the Year 2007 Shawn Michaels on Raw, Match of the Year 2011 CM Punk at Money in the Bank, Match of the Year 2013 against Daniel Bryan, SummerSlam, and Match of the Year 2014 against Bray Wyatt, and Last Man Standing match at Payback. Match of the Year 2016 against AJ Styles at SummerSlam. Most Improved Wrestler of the Year 2003. Most Popular Wrestler of the Decade 2000 to 2009. Most Popular Wrestler of the Year 2004, 2005, 2007, 2012. Wrestler of the Year 2006 and 7. Ranked number 1 of the top 500 single wrestlers in the PWI 500 in 2006, 2007, and in 2013. Rolling Stone, Best Promos in 2015, tied with Kevin Owens. Best Storyline 2015 with Kevin Owens. WB Match of the Year 2015, Kevin Owens at Money in the Bank. Also, Sports Illustrated Muhammad Ali Legacy Award 2018 and ranked number 4, the top 10 wrestlers in 2017. Ultimate Pro Wrestling UPW Heavyweight Championship. The World Wrestling Entertainment WWE Championship 13 times. World Heavyweight Championship 3 times. and WWE United States champion 5 times. He was a WWE Tag Team Champions 2 times with The Miz and with David Otunga, and also World Championship 2 times with Batista and Shawn Michaels. He won Money in the Bank in 2012, Royal Rumble 2008 and 2013, WWE Championship #1 Contenders Tournament 2003, 2005, the Brisbane Cup 2009, Slammy Awards 10 times, Game Changer of the Year 2011 with The Rock, Hero in Us All 2015, the Holy Shit Move of the Year 2010, sending Batista through the stage with an attitude adjustment, Insult of the Year to Dolph Ziggler and Guerrero. You're the exact opposite. One enjoys eating a lot of nuts, and the other is still trying to find taste. That was actually the Kiss of the Year with AJ Styles, or AJ, not AJ Styles, AJ Lee.
I was gonna say Kiss of the Year with AJ Styles. What are we talking about here? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember
That
that
would win
either.
Kiss of the Year.
You're right. Match of the Year 2013, 2014 versus The Rock, WWE Championship, WrestleMania 29, Team Cena versus Team Authority at Survivor Series. Superstar of the Year 2009, 2010, and 2012. The Wrestling Observer newsletter. Best box office draw in 2007. Best gimmick 2003. Best on interviews 2007. Feud of the Year 2011 with CM Punk. And Money in the Bank 2017 in July 17th. The most charismatic 2006 to 2010. The most charismatic of the decade 2000 to 2009. Wrestler of the Year 2007, 2010. The worst for the year 2012 versus Kane. Worst worked match of the year 2012 versus John Laurinaitis. Yeah, at the Over the Limit. I remember that. The worst worked match of the year 2014 versus Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules. Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame class 2007. So other awards and honors. The NCAA Division 3 All America, Springfield College Athletic Hall of Fame, inductee class 2015, Make-A-Wish Foundation, Chris, was it
Gracious.
Gracious Celebrity Award, Gracious Award, Gracious, right? Gracious, right? Gracious. Make-A-Wish Foundation Special Recognition Award for being the first to grant 300 wishes. The 2014 Sports Social TV Entertainer of the Year, 2014 Royal Royalty Hall of Fame Award, the 2014 Susan G. Keoman Race of Cure for Grand Marshal, the 2016 USO Legacy Achievement Award, the 2018 Sports Illustrated Muhammad Ali Legacy Award, 2024 NCAA Silver Anniversary Award. Cena did not accept the 2012 award, opting to award to be presenter Ric Flair instead. And that is it. That is the rundown of John Cena. You know, he's been here since 2001, and he's graced us with his presence. And it's going to be a shame that after this, it's bye-bye Cena.
We are now all more educated, thanks to Dom, about John Cena and his accolades. I finally feel like we can see him.
Exactly.
And where Dom has given us the power to see John Cena, we're going to hand it to Styx to give us the power to see through time. As Styx takes us in his timey-wimey time machine that looks bigger on the inside than the outside for a trip through the time tunnel.
Step into the time tunnel, let's rewind. Everything but honest gets left behind. Lights are flashing, reality's just a blur. Everybody's ready, let's take this on.
Styx, what is time saying to you this week? Styx is muted. All right. Well, you know, step into the time tunnel, open wide. Styx is like 5 minutes behind.
I know.
Everyone else. Styx, you're back. All right, Styx.
There we go, Styx.
What's the time tunnel saying to you this week?
So this week, we'll kind of keep with that John Cena theme that Dom brought us. I picked a few things off the old eBay things that have sold from John Cena, and we'll go ahead on to the next slide here. Sold just recently, this John Cena WrestleMania 24 ring worn signed jersey, the Mears and Beckett Golden football jersey, sold for $1,531.
Damn. Yeah, I'm telling you, wrestling merchandise really a lot of money.
Yep.
Yes, there is.
A lot of money.
In February, these John Cena ring worn sneakers with C of A from Survivor Series 2008 sold for $4,500.
Damn, people got some deep pockets these days.
Yeah. 2008. That's a great year for him. I think 8 was one of his better years.
Oh yeah.
It early on. This January 16th, right after the Netflix stuff started, 2024 Panini National Treasure Hulk Hogan / John Cena dual auto 1 of 1 platinum sold for $9,999.
Damn, there goes my friggin' my John Cena collection of cards. I can never have this card. I have all his cards except this one.
Yeah, I think I had one more, didn't I?
Jeez.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. February 9th, John Cena ring worn sneakers, C of A Royal Rumble, also 2008, sold for the grand total of $10,000.
And the best, $120 friggin' shipping delivery. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that always gets me. Buy it for $10,000. You still got to pay your shipping.
Why did the person just pay for the damn shipping? Oh, what happened? Yeah. Matt. We lost Matt.
I don't know.
Well, okay.
But I mean, yeah, 10,000, and then you got to pay. I mean, you're already losing what fees and other stuff with eBay. Suck up the delivery too, man.
Oh yeah,
suck up that delivery. But 10,000. I mean, that's a big
man?
ass kind of on a signature of a shoe.
Yeah.
No matter who it is.
You want to suck off a delivery man?
Yeah, fucking $120 delivery.
So you're gonna suck them off for it?
No, says the person should send it. The person should freaking goddamn
like suck off the delivery man.
All right, there you go. That's time telling for this weekend. Thank you for watching.
Economics, man.
Yeah, word life.
Word life.
All right. Well, it's come to that time of our show where we're going to say goodbye to you, beautiful people. I feel like we've learned so much tonight going through what happened in Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, our reviews of all the shows. Know so much more about John Cena, where Dom has finally bestowed upon us the power to see him, and Styx showed us what wrestling fans are willing to spend ridiculous amounts of money on.
Crazy.
And if you found this show informative and you want to keep getting informed, make sure to check out any one of our videos that appear here that will continue to let you indulge in our knowledge and love of pro wrestling. And make sure to check out Dom and Styx on Friday night over on Renovision on The Qualified. Check out me and Styx Saturday night on Saturday Night Special. Mm-hmm. Make sure to check out Dom on Sunday nights on the Star Wars show, where he talks about his real true first love. And it's not his wife, it's Boba Fett. And talks Star Wars on Sunday nights. Which brings you right back here to us next Thursday for more wrestling goodness of the gods. Dom, any words of wisdom you want to send us out with this week?
Yeah, listen, WrestleMania is upon us, and don't cry, because WrestleMania is basically like the season finale of the year. If you really think about it, it's like the main event. It's the World Series, is the basketball championship series, the Super Bowl, and the hockey championships all in one. Once this is done, the draft comes in, and the shows we've ever changed. So enjoy this moment right now and enjoy what we're getting, because Roman and Seth will be going back to SmackDown, and friggin' CM Punk is going to stay on Raw. So that's just my opinion, and the rest is have a good night, folks.
The ref's hand has hit the mat for that 3 count, saying, we'll see you guys next week.
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found. Welcome to the show.